For those of you who have experienced the long, grueling hours of getting that one last camo skin, to those who have spent countless hours sitting and waiting for that one last rare resource, you know what it truly means to be a gamer.
For those who haven't, when you're thinking about video games, the last thing you would think to yourself is, can I make a living from this? To understand the world of esports, we must first investigate the history of video games and how one of the biggest and fastest growing industries came about. In 1980, the first ever esports tournament was held, dubbed the Space Invaders Championship. This event brought in over 10,000 participants.
Welcome back to the very first That's Incredible Video Game Invitational. And here are the 3 players who won at the Iowa competition and are here now to compete.
By the 1990s, the creation of the Sega Genesis and Nintendo SNES changed the world of gaming forever, while also creating the first console war. As the popularity of video games grew more and more, major events were created, and by 1994, Nintendo had its first ever Nintendo World Championship, hosted in Hollywood, California.
Welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood. This is the playing field of the future. The unprecedented 1990 Nintendo World Championships. For us, it was a year that began back March 7th, 1990.
Creating a new way for players to compete on a live stage. As time went on and esports got bigger and bigger, so did the reward. While most events brought the winners upwards of $500 in 1990, by 2010, the average prize pool for an esports event was over $100,000. As PC computers advanced, so did the world of gaming. With the creation of the first CPU by NVIDIA, esports had a new young genre enter its ranks. This would mark the beginning of the FPS games. In 1999, the first realistic shooter titled Counter-Strike was released, but didn't see its heyday until the release of Counter-Strike Global Offensive in 2012. By 2018, CSGO had over 1 million players and was the most popular esport at the time. To understand what it takes to play CSGO at a competitive level, we talked with Elliot, a former and pro CSGO player.
Okay, so my name is Elliot, and I've been playing competitive Counter-Strike Go for probably 8 years. I was playing ESEA and paying for a private client, 128-tick servers. It's pretty much how you get ranked and can analyze your stats against players who are on that same level and trying to improve. ESEA was the only way to queue and be ranked as a professional. So it started all the way from F and went to S and to pro.
Okay.
So I capped at like A plus with 130 attack damage per round, which is pretty good. So that's pretty much a kill plus like a half kill almost because they have 100 HP. I got face at level 10. And CEVO I played like very early on, like 2015.
Okay.
So what exactly does all of that mean?
Okay, so CEVO is very similar to ESEA. It's just a third-party client that is competitive ladders and brackets and rankings by like your stats. It's not like a team-based. Like you're not going to rank up because necessarily your team won. If you went like 10 and 20, you're not going to get a lot of elo. You know, it's going to be honest with your elo.
Yeah,
you're not going to gain points, and your stats will reflect that. So pretty much the whole scene of Counter-Strike went to FACEIT. And FACEIT has like European ladders, you know, Asian ladders, American ladders, and no one felt comfortable. You're paying these guys a premium monthly price of 14 or 15 a month to be able to play against other people who are on the like-minded idea of trying to be the best, you know, and trying to evolve. And
from your experience, where did you see the height of Counter-Strike?
I feel like in the 2015, 2016 era, I had already hit global. I had already hit my peak performance in what I thought matchmaking was against just off the client of Counter-Strike Go. And then I felt like the level up for me as a player and to get better and to meet people who are, if you're paying a monthly service to play against better players, it really says a lot about what you're trying to do with the game. And I felt like that was a really good exposure, but I wasn't even, a lot of people are like, oh, if you hit global elite, which is the top rank in the game, that's their cap. But I was like, this is only the beginning. I wanted to level up and potentially play pros or semi-pros Not even for the sense to get paid to win or paid to play, but like more so the sense of like I'm just a competitive person.
Within Counter-Strike, any player who wanted to go pro had the option. Everyone did. But there was no guarantee. There's no guarantee that you would be able to get noticed from a team or a sponsor, and without either of those things, a player would never have any hope to make it to the big stage. Even with these, there is no guarantee that you will be able to make it into a professional circuit. If you do, it becomes a repeated cycle of playing the same game over and over again.
Each day is spent playing the same game almost non-stop. Most pros spend at least 8 hours playing the game each day, which is about the amount of time people spend at a full-time job of a workday, so it's not crazy, but not everyone plays just 8 hours a day. Some can spend up to 12 hours a day on the sticks. That's half the day playing video games. It's crazy. A lot of pros believe that time spent not playing the game is time spent allowing the other teams to get better. The competitive nature in esports is beyond anything we've ever seen. Players literally won't sleep, all in an effort to get better.
While many see this amount of time on a single game to be insane, every pro player knows that if they can prove they're the best, not only will they have a massive sense of accomplishment, but they will also take home the grand prize.
Prize money in some of the big esports tournaments is crazy. Players could win over $1 million for their team, but typically it's hundreds of thousands of dollars split among them, which is definitely nothing to laugh at.
While playing at the pro level seems like the only way to make a career from playing video games, advancement in technology have created a new way: streaming. With the advancement of technology, streaming services like Twitch, Blender, and YouTube Live have become some of the most popular things to watch. This adds a new way to find a career in video games. Some of the biggest streamers, such as Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx, found their fame in the era of Twitch. In 2011, the streaming service Twitch was born. Created as a spin-off of Justin TV, another video game streaming service, Twitch rose to become the most popular esports streaming service on the web. One of today's most watched streamers, Timothy Batar, otherwise known as Tim the Tatman, who started streaming in 2014, quickly rose to become one of Twitch's most watched channels. With a YouTube channel created in 2011, Tim had some help from his fans grow as a creator.
He's categorized himself under the just chatting section on Twitch.
You saw my nipple? We're just chatting, okay? I'm sorry.
Tim's flanked by his plush sidekick Kevin the Penguin, and his voice is soft and conversational, like the way your coworkers talk to you by the coffee machine in the morning.
None of my friends play Overwatch, so I had to pay $5 to tell someone, hey, you just wasted your money, lol in chat.
By 2018, Tim was one of the most popular male video game streamers on Twitch. With his still growing streams and YouTube channel alongside multiple sponsorships from Monster, HyperX, and Chipotle, Tim averages $1 million per year. These are the success stories, the players who were able to find their way to glory in an industry that was still young at the time. Statistics from Twitch now show that the top 0.015% of streamers earn the median household income, which in the year 2020 was $65,000. In the world of streaming, there are always other ways to earn money. The greatest example of this is sponsorships, contributing to an average of 1 cent to $1 for every 1 view per hour. For example, if you had 1,000 viewers, the sponsorship would pay you $1,000 per hour of streaming with 1,000 viewers. This is the heart of streaming. For those who can find sponsorships and hold on to them, they will be the ones who rise to the top. Although gaming has changed and evolved throughout the years, its core has always been the same: the gamers. When looking at how plausible it is to form a career out of playing video games, we've seen how much time and dedication it can take to become good enough at a game to even consider trying to go pro. With that, even fewer will be able to find a team. Even with streaming, it is not a certainty that you will be able to form a career out of it. Although personality will be at the forefront over gameplay, the certainty of success for anyone looking to gain a career out of esports is a dead 50-50.